Happy Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year, depending on where you're listening from in the world. We're going to jump into some news that, once again, just like last week, it's related to the next Transformers movie, and I feel like there's just not enough here worth really talking about too much, and I kind of waited it out a bit to see if anything better comes up, and there's a little bit of news here and there, so I figure I'm going to talk about it here. That way, tomorrow on the stream, we won't waste too much time on it, and we could really talk about other stuff. And all we have to really talk about here is it's so one of the more reputable publishing companies, Production Weekly. They're known for a company that is for actors that are looking for jobs and stuff. They did a huge list of all the upcoming movies that are being filmed this year, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. I love it how it's like, Untitled Basketball Production, Untitled Cuban Project, Untitled Dracula Project. It's a whole bunch of stuff like that. Untitled GameStop Project. Think about that, if you will. But among all of that is a Transformers Beast Alliance title. Now, we talked about this name previously. It seems like it's going to be just the working name. We'll probably end up, hopefully, the smart thing to do would just to go with the Beast Wars name. That would be the smart thing. It has the cachet, but this is Hollywood, and they know how to shit the bed when they need to. So I hope I don't come off too negative with this, because this is just, I'm not a big movie person in general. I find that while there is some good movies out there, it's really tough to tell a good story in 2 hours that is really impactful. There is really good movies, but there's also a lot of garbage that are kind of things that you just chew up, spit out, and you never watch ever again. Growing up, so many of my friends wanted to drag me to movies, and I would just be like, you know what, that's better money spent elsewhere, and they would end up paying for my ticket just so I would come with them. No joke. There were so many movies that I would have never seen in my life just because of stuff like this. Anyways, going on a rant here already. So they pretty much talk about who they want to cast for their main role, the two leading characters here. And we have a male character that's an unknown. And then they mention here that the director would like to have a actress similar to Tessa Thompson. And this leads more credence, no pun intended, to the fact that the rumors of Stephen Caple Jr., the director of Creed 2, being the director because he worked with Tessa Thompson during Creed 2. And it's mentioned here that they are interested in 3 specific actresses, and they go into why exactly, and it's their multicultural or multi-ethnic look that is attractive to them for what they want for the role. They list here Ruth Nega, a Ethiopian Irish actress. Her multicultural look combined with strong Irish accent based on and known as Queen Tyra from the Warcraft movie and Reyna from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a couple episodes, and I was like, okay, I'll go back to reading comic books. And while I like the Warcraft games, I never saw that movie, and I actually heard it was pretty bad. Although it did well in other countries, I heard, in terms of box office. Next we have Journey Smollett. I apologize if I'm messing up these names. My name is just as bad in real life, so I can only imagine. Of African and European descent, also a nice multicultural mix. She played Black Canary in the recent Birds of Prey movie. Didn't see that movie. I also heard that one was pretty brutal. I love the Birds of Prey comic books. Huntress is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time, and I heard that movie did it dirty. So, probably not going to watch that one either. And Smollett, okay, you were Black Canary. I don't know what this woman looks like, but is she blonde? I don't know. It says here African European descent. Is she blonde? I don't know. That's the Black Canary I know, anyways. And the last one is Zoe Krevitz, the daughter of Lenny Kravitz, who is he himself a strong multicultural background individual. She is currently filming the Batman movie, starring as Selena Kyle, a.k.a. Catwoman. There's another one that Well, sure. Okay. Sure thing. Now, what does this have to do with Transformers? I don't know. I do not know. That's why I almost didn't even want to kind of record this segment. But it's like, yeah, unless you're talking to me about a voice actress for a robot, I really don't care. These human characters are interchangeable and or forgettable. I mean, they don't matter. They really don't. They really, really don't. 20 years from now, we're not going to be buying $200 statues of Sam Witwicky or, Cade's character from the Last Night movie. We won't. We just won't. And it's just a known fact. It's bad enough that sometimes some of the movie toys just don't have a strong secondary market. These human characters are even weaker than that. So to put any kind of weight or hope in this, or to even overthink it, is not really worth it much. I stand by my feelings that really moving forward, the Bumblebee movie gave the audience a taste of what they really wanted, which was a primarily Cybertron story. But even the Bumblebee movie, they just found a way to make Bumblebee not talk and make it all about the human characters in the end. And while people did enjoy that movie, it was okay. Like I said before, it's a solid 7. It's nothing like, oh wow, like I'm gonna see this multiple times. I saw it once in theaters, and that was it. Don't really have the drive to see it again. I'll tell you that much. I mean, it's sad to say I kind of rather watch the first Bay movie more than even the Bumblebee movie. But not in any of the other Bay movies. That's just me personally. But again, I'm probably a bad example. I'm not a movie person. I'm not. I have no problem sitting down and binging a TV series or anything like that. But I guess it's not for me. It's not for me. And I really hope that whatever they do with this Beast Wars movie has any kind of soul at all. Any kind of soul that just is pulling from the source material. It's something that I know for a fact that if I was on the production, they probably wouldn't want my ideas, because it's not the way they're going to want to go. It really isn't. And nowadays with a lot of movies, there's more, how do I put this? There's more agendas that are more to be met than there is about telling a story anymore. Story really is secondary, and being true to source material is right out the window. So we'll see how this Beast Wars movie goes. Just give me Optimus Primal. Just give me Cheetor. Just give me Dinobot. Give me Beast Wars Megatron. Hire David Kaye. For God's sake. Hire Gary Chalk. Not only are you going to get quality voice actors, but they'll definitely be way cheaper than any B-list celebrity that you're going to hire to put on your marquee. And I understand you want to put that celebrity for your marquee. I get that. But at the end of the day, just get quality, man. Get quality. I mean, are we going to have yet another middle-of-the-road movie? Is that what we're already, amping up for? Hollywood the one crazy thing that's going on with Hollywood right now is they're releasing so much material based on previously existing properties to mediocre success, and you would think it would kind of slow them down, that they go, oh well, we got to stop, clearly the money's not coming in. But no, they keep going, because now it's all about keeping a trademark, keeping an IP, keep going. You would have thought even something like that Ghostbusters movie in 2016 would have been the death nail. No, they'll keep going. They'll keep going. Maybe the next Ghostbuster movie will be great, but it didn't slow them down. A movie could absolutely bomb now, and it doesn't matter. They'll kind of look at it as well, we did what we wanted to do. It didn't make money. It was a complete mess. Nobody cared, but we did what we wanted to do, and we'll keep making more. And I think that's where it gets to the point where it's that's kind of why I just don't watch movies, because they're just not quality anymore. They really aren't. There's so much that I feel I'm going to be skipping of the Marvel stuff. I tried to really stay on top of that Marvel stuff, and it's just maybe it was because it was leading up to an Infinity Gauntlet adaptation in my mind. Thanos Quest, Jim Starlin Infinity Gauntlet. That's what I was hoping for, with that Infinity War and Endgame movie. And I think just me keeping track of all of that because I love Thanos and all of that. But it's just that's what kept me in the game there, where now that era has passed and whatever is going to be next doesn't speak to me, I'm probably going to be skipping a lot of those movies. Really will. Not to mention also it seems like Cap's out of the game. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's probably for you, but it's not for me. And it's something that I just hope that there's some kind of soul for this next Transformer movie, because Bumblebee was middle of the road. The Last Night was was me looking at my watch. Age of Extinction was a cop out, like literally like, hey, we're gonna fit everything that the trailer had in the last 10 minutes of the movie after 3 hours, and I could keep going on. And I know there's people out there that love those movies primarily because they grew up on them, and that's the primary reason why they love them. They have more of a nostalgic connection, in the same way that I like Street Sharks and Cowboys of Moo Mesa and Mummies Alive and stuff from like the 90s and the late 80s. But I will also admit that they're cheesy and that they're not for everybody. And I would never say that something like Street Sharks is high fantasy or high fiction. It is what it is in its goofy way. But I always end up having to argue with people that say like how great the Michael Bay movies are and how amazing they are. But of course, a lot of the time, it doesn't surprise me that they were also 7 when those movies came out. And like I said, stuff that I watched when I was 7, I wouldn't call it high fantasy or high quality Shakespeare. But anyways, I feel like we kind of got off track here. Let me know what you think about this. Again, I just want this Beast Wars movie to be good, and I just wanted to kind of get this all out right now so that we don't waste too much time on the stream. The stream, we got like 2 hours to take questions from the audience and talk about Transformer news and stuff, and I feel it's time better spent in other areas, not to mention all the stuff that's going on with Unicron and Kingdom stuff and everything that's being released. I think that's better discussed there. So let me know what you think about this. Are you excited about this Beast Wars movie? Do you have hope? We all have hope. But do you have real hope?